Ooni of Ife's wives, they were all in shock and they were disappointed over the latest development and the Ooni of Ife's action right now in the palace. They said a lot of things have changed. Kabiyesi is highly prepared for Queen Naomi's return. In as much as he is making other preparations, they said this particular preparation that he's making right now is more important than every other preparation because you know that the women are capable of anything. And the problem is that a lot of people believe that the only problem that KBC have in Queen Naomi's return is about the women. From the information we are getting, the women are just tools in the hands of the men enemies. Those elders who think that Queen Naomi is a threat to their own belief system in that palace. Because they have been complaining bitterly that ever since Queen Naomi enters the palace, that it has been a serious problem for them. That most times that they used to gather to do their activities in the palace, that Queen Naomi is no longer allowing them because those times are the times she will always be praying, kabashing, doing her night vigil and all of that. And it's really affecting them. And that was why they are fighting. As a matter of fact, they said Kabiyesi was able to get them to sign the document of Queen Naomi's return. You know that before this return, they said there was a certain document that was signed by the elders that they are going to be involved in doing the rituals that they have to do before Queen Naomi will return back to the palace. And they said Kabiyesi was able to get them into doing it due to his recent decision that if you do anyhow, you see anyhow. They said the way he is firing any elder who think that he is going to be a stumbling block for him, that if he find out that you are not in support of his journey to bring Queen Naomi back, he will just dissolve you, take you out of the elders that is working with him immediately. So for that reason, they said most of these elders, they are now working in pretense. You know that when someone is doing something that is not that he's not in support of, but he is doing it such that they will not shift him by the side and continue with the move, So then after coming to the public to do it, that making Kabiyesi believe that they are with him, they will still go back and start the fight, and start their spiritual battle and their spiritual fight. So right now they said Kabiyesi have seen all that has been happening. And this time he doesn't have time for stories that touches the heart. They said that was why he have decided to go and bring this Puerto Rican priestess. And they say one of them is the custodian of Osun deity. And these two people, their main reason for coming to the palace is to help the Ifa priests. They said inside that Ifa priest, among the Ifa priests in the palace, that two of them are still trustworthy, and that was why there is still some level of how I don't even know the right word to use. That is why it looks as if at least to some point the women will be like, this person will not take bribe, and for that reason they would want to not do certain things in the palace. They say it's all thanks to these two Ifa priests who are still trustworthy. But at this point, the fight is too much, such that the two of them might not be able to do, to fight the people that have reason to fight Queen Naomi's return. And they are striking spiritually. So the main reason why Kabiyesi invited these two is to come and help the two Ifa priests in the palace to ward off spiritual negativities, all these spiritual fights. You know that recently they said there was this spirit that they have invoked. They invoked that spirit, and the spirit is going around in the palace at night crying. And they say why the spirits are crying, they are awakening the spirit of negative vibes into the palace, and by so doing they are causing problems. And if that continues and the people did not do anything about it, that it might jeopardize Queen Naomi's return to the palace. So it's one of the reasons the Kabiyesi brought these people. So their own work here is to ensure that these people did not come into the palace with all their jazz, with all their juju, because when they go and do all those things, once they enter the palace, they will start using it inside the palace. Some of them will go as far as burying it on the ground. Some of them will go as far as using it to manipulate situation. And if that continues, that it will get to the point that they will start confusing the king again. So that is why they say Kabiyesi have brought these two people to come and help him. They are going to stay in that palace until that period that Queen Naomi will return back to the palace, because there was a prophecy. Okay? And one thing about their stay, one thing about Queen Naomi's return is that there was a prophecy that before she will enter, that is going to be a serious fight between Kabiyesi and these elders, using the wives to see if they are going to achieve their aim. And the reason they will be using the wife is such that they say, the women are fighting for their rights. They don't want their husband to be taken away from them. You know? Whereas the elders are the main cocoa here. You know? So, but the revelation is saying that Queen Naomi will come in, but the fight will be fierce. But at the end of the fight, if she eventually comes into the palace, that no mortal can push her out of that palace again. Even if they like, let them go and invoke all the spirits. That the spirits themselves are happy that Queen Naomi is inside this palace or is coming into the palace. And that is why they blessed her marriage with Kabiyesi. You know? And I believe that if the gods of the land are not happy with Queen Naomi might not be able to conceive there. Yes, so because whether you believe it or not, you see the spiritual controls the physical. But because she is on a mission in that palace, and they really want her to fulfill the mission, that is why they gave her heir apparent to the throne. So even if Kabiyesi will not look at any other thing, he will look at the point that this woman is carrying my son. And I wouldn't want my son to be raised by another man. And for that reason, she needs to be in the palace. And by so doing, she will be able to fulfill her mission in that palace. So you see, they said the women, as in the priestess, have told Kabiyesi that Queen Naomi is in your life for a purpose. And if you decide to move on with this journey on your own, that you are going to encounter a serious problem on your way. But with Queen Naomi by your side, that she will be able to help you fight and win. And it's not even, we don't even need much interpretation on this, because this is not the first time we are hearing things like this. And coupled with the fact that the elders and some of these oloris, their intention is to dethrone Kabiyesi from what we are hearing allegedly. So, but with Queen Naomi by their side, they might not be able to fulfill their mission. One is that any jazz they come close with, she is going to destroy them. Any of their evil plans, God will reveal it to her. There is reason for everything in this life. And I believe there is a reason for Queen Naomi's marriage to Kabiyesi. So guys, tell me what you think about it. And please, don't forget that these are all alleged information, okay? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support for me. Bye for now. Love you guys.